So much news today. It's incredible. Let's start with the weird stuff. Lexus and Toyota are doing some really strange things when it comes to their battery-only electric vehicles. Also, the next Subaru BRZ is likely canceled for most of the world. Sorry guys, sorry. And apparently it's not all rainbows and unicorns for Mazda despite them slaying sales this year. And lastly, Hyundai is giving the N line treatment to pretty much every single car in the lineup. Welcome back, Lexurious Fleet. If you're new, my name is Kirk. I talk about Japanese and Korean autos. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's get right into the thick of it. Over at the Lexus European newsroom, unique feel of Lexus all-electric UX captured in stylish new virtual home environment. All right, let's just watch one of the promo videos. They have like 4 of the promo videos. It's a very, very strange thing. Okay, so 10 stands for the 10-year warranty for the battery vehicle, and you have these electric running shoes. I guess that's cool. We'll talk more about those in a little bit. You have an electric bike or an exercise bike that's supposed to represent the smoothness and exhilarating aspects of the UX 300e. Because everyone has a turntable, a vehicle turntable for their electric vehicles inside of their house, let alone anywhere else. Okay, so looking through the pictures, I guess you would have to go with those shoes if you're getting the ultrasonic blue mica 2.0 paint color. And this home looks super modern, like the UX electric car is supposed to be a modern era of Lexus electrified. It's one of their slogans going forward, but it might take a while for it to get to the United States. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it doesn't look comfy like a Lexus. You know, I know they're trying to look futuristic and all, but this type of home doesn't look very welcoming. It looks very cold, very robotic. And I guess that's kind of what electrified vehicles are like, but Lexuses are also very, very comfortable. This doesn't look like the coziest house. I mean, you have a whole room dedicated to the exercise bike. The shoes, guys, the shoes. It's all about the shoes in my opinion. So they are pretty much putting the exterior or the interior designs and patterns of the UX onto these shoes. I think it's pretty cool. Now the soles down here are whatever, but the middle part, what does that look like? Well, that's the spindle grille that is on the Lexus UX and many others, but the pattern here is even the spindle grille pattern on the Lexus UX. This pattern here is how the fabric of the seats is, and this is on the exterior embroidery of the seats. So very, very cool. And they also have the colors. So this is the cobalt color. Now they're named a little bit different here in the United States. Rich cream, not my favorite color. Graphite black, ochre still, or ochre. That's a word no one says here in the United States. If we see a word similar to this, it'd be like ogre or okra, which it's neither of those. To me, this color looks like the caramel color that we get here, which is one of my favorites for the UX and the NX for that matter. And then we have white ash, which might even look a little bit more white than the birch interior that we get here. But overall, really cool design. If you even look at the back of the shoe here, there's red here to symbolize the taillights. So a lot of thought went into these shoes. But the strangeness doesn't stop there for Lexus and Toyota electric vehicles. Lexus Electrified Vision UX 300e confirmed for Australia of all places. I have so many Australian viewers. You guys rock, my Aussies. A lot of you have your opinions about how, you know, gasoline engines aren't good enough for parts of Australia when it comes to the Land Cruiser and things like that because diesel is more fuel efficient and there's more diesel out in the outback. Apparently in the cities, people are asking for electric vehicles because you're getting the Lexus UX 300e in Australia and I don't ever see it coming to America, sadly. You know, it's one of the biggest markets for Lexus, but they're like, no, we're just gonna shell it out to Japan, Europe, China, and why not Australia while we're at it? So it'll be coming in November of 2021. So you guys still have a year to wait before it comes. But hey, at least you guys have the GR Yaris to entertain yourself if you want a fun, compact vehicle. I know it's a totally different vehicle, but still a little jealous that you guys get the GR Yaris. So now you guys get the UX 300e, which I'm dying to test drive, but can't really do it. Moving on with more Toyota/Lexus EVs. Toyota sells ultra compact EV in earnest from 2021. This is not the first time we've seen this thing, but it doesn't look like it's going to be changing at all from the concept images. This is ultra compact. It only has 100 kilometers of range. That's about 60 miles of range. Depending on the price of this thing, I would love to have a vehicle like this. It's pretty much a golf cart. And if this golf cart can go 60 miles an hour, it would be a really cool city commuter car. 60 miles is plenty for most people in the city. So I think it'd be fun to have something like this. Depends on the price. Everything depends on the price. But the availability of this is obnoxious. They're only having 100 units for the first year. And the first year will be until November 2021. And it's being unveiled later this month, supposedly. All right, so definitely check back to the channel if you want to see more about this like Smart 2.4, Smart 4.2, whatever it is, sort of sized vehicle. From the second year, so starting in 2022 would be my guess, dealers who want to sell will voluntarily raise their hands and run for candidacy. It is not compulsory because it requires capital investment to handle it. You know what that capital investment is going to be installing large charging stations at their dealerships. So I really only see Toyota dealers in the bigger cities and wanting to raise their hand to accept this fully electric, tiny commuter, city-only vehicle. It's not the most practical vehicle, but if you never leave your town and 60 miles of range is enough for you, if they can sell this thing, I mean, I wouldn't pay more than like 10 grand for it, 15 grand at the most. But guys, would you be interested in something like that? I know it's not going to come to America anytime soon, but maybe 10 years from now here in America, we could be seeing things like this about that size with, let's say, 100 miles of range, 150 miles of range. We'll see. We'll see. I thought it was worth talking about. Also worth mentioning, over the Toyota newsroom, Toyota adds a more dynamic look and more exclusivity to the CHR with the new GR Sport. Now this is just a body cladding, so they're not going to be putting like the GR Yaris's 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder in here, but they give us some sportier wheels, a little bit sportier front fascia, a little sportier rear there. This is all in the hybrid trim that they're showing us, so that's why you don't see any exhaust pipes. Speaking of which, I reviewed the CHR. If you guys would like to watch that video, I enjoyed the vehicle. I liked it quite a bit. I like the spunkiness of it, but it's too bad that we don't get additional powertrain options here in the United States, and I think that's why the feeling it could be canceled here and replaced with the Corolla Cross that could be manufactured in the Toyota and Mazda plant down in Alabama starting next year. But yeah, the CHR gets a GR Sport. I thought it was just worth mentioning. Let's keep moving because we're not even halfway done with our news today. Subaru BRZ next model to be introduced in the US market only without selling in Europe. What will happen to the Toyota 8.6? Well, the Toyota 8.6 actually might make it to Europe because Toyota sells a plethora of hybrids and now plug-in hybrids with the RAV4 Prime and the Prius Prime and things like that. So they might have some flexibility within their lineup with emissions and you know what to be able to just fit that 8.6 into the lineup. So don't give up hope on the 8.6 in Europe, but the BRZ is not going to be making it there. They just don't sell enough electric or electrified vehicles there. And who knows for other markets. From the sounds of this article, it sounds like it's largely going to be a North American car. And of course, Japan. Of course, Japan. Let's move forward. Mazda reports quarterly loss as pandemic hits global sales. Now, I just made a video a couple days ago saying how Mazda is crushing 2020. They're selling a lot of vehicles despite the pandemic, and they're weathering it really, really well. They're barely down on the year, but strangely, their profits are shot in the face. Mazda booked an operating loss of $72 million in the quarter ended around September 30th, compared with an operating profit of $178 million the year before. At the net level, Mazda plunged to a loss of $250 million in the July to September period from a net income of $108 million from a year before. Holy smokes, man. Sales numbers aren't everything, obviously. I don't know what's absolutely crushing them in terms of, making money here, but it could be due to the global sales. Here in the United States, they're weathering it really, really well. They're down like 1% or 2% on the year, but their global sales declined 12% to 334,000 vehicles. Wholesale volume fell 18% to 255,000 vehicles. So there you have it. That's probably why they're down so much money outside of the US as a global company. Speaking of a company that's not doing well, Mitsubishi Motors announces additions and improvements across its US dealership network. This is something I didn't see coming. Mitsubishi is revamping pretty much their whole product stack. Mostly it's just refreshes for the next year or two, but it's a little bit exciting if you're into Mitsubishi. Most people aren't really Mitsubishi fans because they don't have enthusiast cars to get excited about anymore, but their vehicles are extremely practical and very affordable. And they're adding dealerships in Miami, Birmingham, Alabama, Fresno, California, East Petersburg in Pennsylvania, Commack in New York, and San Jose, California. So maybe they know something that I don't know. Maybe they're got some, tip-offs of what they plan on doing in the future. But Mitsubishi, we made so many videos on them about how they're going to weather this out in the United States, with them really only focusing on their mega markets, which for them is like Oceania and Southeast Asia. So we'll see how this all shapes out. But I guess it's a good news for Mitsubishi. People are signing up. They want to have their cars. They want to have more dealerships for them. So I guess that's a good thing. We'll see how it all pans out. Spider 7, Japanese scoop site, rivals are Audi Q5 and Lexus NX. The Genesis GV70 could be getting a sports model, which we've already expected. We've already seen a lot of the images, and we've seen these spider web wheels. But they just, they got a couple pictures of it out on the road. And what's interesting to me, and take this with a grain of salt because I don't think we know the powertrains yet on the GV70. They're saying that the base engine is going to be the same as the G70s, which they still have, the G70 anyway, still has a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with a maximum of 250 PS, which is a little under 250 horsepower. But they're saying the sports model is going to have the 3.5-liter turbo V6 that we see in the GV80, that we see in the G80. So I don't know why it's not getting the 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder with about 300 horsepower. But yeah, at least it's potentially getting this 3.5-liter turbo V6 with about 370 plus horsepower. Moving forward, over at the roadshow, Hyundai Elantra N looks seriously hot and fresh teaser. So let's just look at it. I think it looks pretty good. I think the side design looks a lot better on the Elantra than it does on the Tucson. There's just too much stuff going on the Tucson. If you were in my live stream yesterday where we watched the premiere of the vehicle here in North America, it was a lot of fun. But they mentioned this vehicle at that Tucson premiere, and it looks good front to back. Now there's tons of camouflage, but we can use our imagination here. It looks pretty good. Now they're saying this is going to have the 2-liter turbo 4 engine with up to 275 horsepower. That's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that I was just talking about in the GV70 and the G70 for that matter. Now they're adding lots of different inline products and end products as well. So in addition to the Elantra, Sonata, and Tucson, which was just unveiled yesterday, we're getting an inline Tucson, Veloster. They're expecting the Kona to get sportier versions. Well, we saw the Kona inline version for Europe. It's already available, I believe. So I expect that to come, as well as the Kona N with a 6-speed all-wheel drive, 270 horsepower. How amazing would that be, guys? That would be a direct competitor, let's say, to the Golf R or something like that. And that would put even more pressure on the Mazda turbo 2.5 turbo. It's getting confusing to me for the N-line. What's the difference between N and N-line? I know N is definitely more performance oriented, but the N-lines can get performance upgrades as well when it comes to the engine. So it's kind of blending that line. It doesn't always follow true that the N-line is more of a sport upgrade in terms of looks, because it can also get engine upgrades. You guys probably know what I mean at this point, because the Sonata N-line is getting the 2.5 turbo that the Kia K5 GT is getting. So I'll see you guys in the comments what you think about Hyundai pretty much giving the N treatment to all of their vehicles. I think it's pretty cool. It would be cool to see it in other, let's say the Palisade. It'd be a little obnoxious, but it'd be cool. But I feel like at that point, even in the Santa Fe, they would be infringing upon the Genesis products with the Palisade N-line or N whatever. You guys know what I mean. I'm gonna keep moving. Over at Kia Media page, Hyundai Motor Group to launch NVIDIA Drive connected car infotainment and AI platform across all future Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis models. This is probably a good thing. I know quite a bit about NVIDIA and their rival AMD. They provide lots of computer products, mostly graphics, NVIDIA graphics for computers, things like that. And used to do consoles. I think they still have the Nintendo Switch under their control as a NVIDIA product, but the rest of them are AMD products like the Sony, PlayStation, Xbox. Those are AMD products, but we'll talk about AMD actually at the end here because I think it's relevant to today's news. All new models from Hyundai Motor Group to feature NVIDIA Drive platform as standard starting in 2022. This technology enhances new connected car operating systems. It is developed in-house by Hyundai Motor Group for all future models, and it offers perpetually updatable, software-defined in-vehicle entertainment or infotainment systems and potential for a wide range of connected car services. I think it's a good idea. I think we're going to see a really pretty high fidelity, futuristic software built into these displays. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Speaking of their arch rival AMD, Tesla is looking to switch to AMD Navi chip for onboard computer. Tesla used to use NVIDIA's Tegra chips, but they started building their own chips in-house. Now it looks like they might be contracting AMD for future hardware when it comes to powering that large tablet touchscreen display. And this will be based on AMD's new Navi 23 chip. The Navi 21 chips are hitting the market this month for computer products. They're also baked into the PS5 was just released this month as well. Well, it's not quite released as of today, as well as the Xbox Series X. I think that's what it is. Those two rivals all have AMD chips in it, Navi 21 based chips. So crazy news today, from electrification to computer parts in vehicles. We talked about Mitsubishi gaining dealerships, Mazda losing money despite doing really well here in the United States, but globally they're not doing so well. Hyundai's in line, etc. Guys, this video was packed full of information, and it's kind of like that. When it rains, it pours, right? It's been several days since I've had some exciting news. I was working on a Subaru video, which hopefully will be done by tomorrow, but it might be a little bit long. It's more of a research piece talking about where does Subaru go from here. So that'll be a lot of fun. I know you guys will enjoy that. But guys, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more news updates, deep dives like that Subaru, what's coming next for Subaru video that I'm working on right now, car reviews, which aren't going to be around probably this winter because it's winter here, it's frozen north. But they will be coming around in the summer, especially when we move back down to Florida. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Maybe had too much coffee today because I'm talking really, really fast. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And peace out.